Good morning. My name is Dana Zaylor. It's my honor and privilege to greet you all today. Thank you all for being here. So we have some new musicians today, so I want to introduce them. So we have Chantal at the piano. Thank you, Chantal. So approaching the chair there, that's Lance. Lancer's doing percussion today, and along with Chris on the drums. Chris back there. Thank you, Chris. We have Robert on sax. Hello, Robert. Welcome back. And then we have John on the bass guitar. So, wow. So I'm so excited to have you here. So let's start off with our mission statement. Our mission is to touch hearts and transform lives through the power of unconditional love and acceptance. We embody a spiritual community that emphasizes personal growth, living consciously, and making a positive difference in the world. Thank you. And then our opening affirmation: together, there is only one power and one presence active in my life and in the universe, God the good. That is the foundational statement of unity. This morning we have Amber McKenzie that's going to be doing our talk, which is entitled The Universe Within. Thank you. Looking forward to that. So my friend Kirsten is going to read the Daily Word.
Good morning. I am blessed with peace, calm, and the love of God. Today, if someone asks me how I am, I will smile and respond, I am blessed. This simple declaration will set the tone for the day, encouraging me to notice blessings large and small, especially the little things I may take for granted. I will also be mindful that God is the source of all my blessings. I find my greatest blessing is in the grounding myself in God's grace. It brings me peace, calms my fears, and is a bright guiding light in dark and difficult times. In the Sermon on the Mount, Jesus described the blessings of life, reminding those gathered that the truest wealth is not measured by money and power. I take these words to heart and feel deeply grateful. I am spiritually blessed, enriched by God's unwavering love. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God. Matthew 5:8.
I am blessed. Say that with me together, please. I am blessed. I am blessed to be here. All right, so we are going to, first, is there anybody here for the first time today? Yeah, a couple. Anybody over here? Welcome packets for you. Awesome. All right, so we are going to stand and greet our neighbor. Fist bump or a handshake or a hug or a high five or...
Blessing to you. Yeah. Except I'm doing meditation. You're not going to want to come up when I do the meditation after the talk. You'll see. I sit down the floor down there. Just let me know when you want to start.
All right, let's come back to our seats.
Blessing to the world. No, I do a little intro. Yeah.
Let us return. Just remain standing. All right. What?
Okay.
To gather everybody back. All right, let's gather back. Hello. It's a good problem to have. All right, let's just remain standing. We're going to do a community sing.
Blessing.
Yeah. Let's stand for a community sing.
You are the heart, you are the hands, you are the voice of spirit on earth, and who you are, and all you do is a blessing to the world. I am the heart, I am the hands, I am the voice of spirit on earth, and who I am, and all I do is a blessing to the world. We are the heart, we are the hands, we are the voice of spirit on earth, and who we are, and all we do is a blessing to the world. Thank you, everybody. If you would like to stand, and I'm going to do this next song as a call and response. You are more than welcome to sit, but also stand. Go ahead and stand. This healing day, this healing, healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. This beautiful day. My wonderful friends. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day.
Thank you all.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Oh, I love those lyrics. Good morning, everyone. Happy spring. Happy belated Earth Day, right? I'm so happy to be back here talking with all of you about my favorite topic, and that is the spiritual life. And isn't it all spiritual? Yes, it is. As mentioned, my talk title today is The Universe Within, and it was inspired by a lot of things happening in our world today, right now, and especially some recent good news that I think we all followed, hopefully, and that was the Artemis II mission around the moon. Did you guys watch that? Yes. How could you miss it? I was following through social media, as many of us were, and I couldn't help but get connected with everything happening up there and just looking up in the sky and imagining that there were people up there, you know, from afar, right? Watching, not watching us, but away from us. And I got a glimpse of that moon joy we were all talking about experiencing, that the astronauts obviously experienced. And honestly, it made me remember that God literally loves us to the moon and back. Am I right? Now, obviously, God's love cannot be measured in distance, but it hit me that way. And watching our fellow human beings, Americans and Canadians, no less, go that far and come safely home. I think a bunch of us were like, oh, please, when they land, just let us know. Is it all safe? That's how I felt. So it was a real celebration when they returned, right? It felt like this holy reminder that we are all being held, that we are all connected, and all parts of something so much bigger than our little logical brains can sometimes remember or access at times, especially when we get caught up in the noise and the distractions that are down here in our everyday life. Together, millions of us got to witness their experience almost in real time, thanks to all the advanced technology nowadays. Back in the 60s, when they did it the first time, we didn't get to experience anything until after the astronauts came back. So it was fun and strangely exhilarating to be there, to experience it in real time. And I think collectively, many of us felt something we don't often feel these days, and that is a profound sense of awe, wonder, humility, and a powerful shift in perspective. At least that's what it did for me. You could feel it not only in ourselves as we watched, but in the astronauts too. I loved them. I loved every one of them. I don't know them, but I loved watching them. Their words, their emotions, the way this journey seemed to transform them as well as us. Because from thousands of miles away, the Earth looks like this. Oops. It's amazing. It's beautiful. It's majestic. And it looks like this from the far side of the moon. I think that's where that is. And it's like the moon or the Earth is rising. So they call it Earth rising when they're up in space. And then who knew that the moon, when kind of like they used some image, I forgot what they did to make the colors of the moon come out, but this is really what the moon can look like. It's not just a gray mass that we see from down here. It's got color, it's got life. That was so satisfying for me. And as you see, from that distance, borders disappear. The noise quiets, the things that divide us seem smaller. And the fragile beauty of this planet that we all inhabit becomes impossible to ignore. I saw this funny meme, like scrolling social media one time, and I tried to recreate it myself because I couldn't find it again. But it shows, and I'll show you my recreation, it shows this giant image of Earth from space with an arrow pointing to one little microscopic speck, light speck, and it says, "You are here." Furious because someone didn't use their blinker. And I mean, to be honest with you guys, I do get furious when people don't use their blinker. Just, you know what I mean? But, so what it did for me, and what I love about this kind of perspective, is that we all need that shift, right? Sometimes we need to be reminded that we do sweat the small things. But there's something greater out there, right? When we can just shift that little perspective and see ourselves from the moon, that shift can do a lot. It's what they call moon joy. And that's the phrase NASA used to describe the pure wonder, excitement, and awe the Artemis crew and those at ground control and us experienced as they traveled around the moon and looked back at Earth. And I think many of us watching from down here caught at least a glimpse of this moon joy. I mean, they even started making merch, right? Like there's posters and there's shirts and sweatshirts, and of course we had to capitalize on it. But through these images and those live updates and those breathtaking views of our little blue planet suspended in the darkness, we were invited, if only for a moment, into that same sense of wonder and awe, into that same expanded perspective, into what astronauts call the overview effect. Have you heard of this? No? Okay, good. Hey, I'm teaching something new. The overview effect, and that is the sudden awakening to our profound interconnectedness. The realization that we are all sharing this tiny spinning miracle together. We're not doing it alone. From space, there are no visible borders, no nations, no dividing lines, just one gorgeous, fragile world wrapped in what astronauts describe as an impossibly thin veil of atmosphere. You can kind of see it there in the lower right-hand corner, protecting all of life from the vast darkness beyond. Many astronauts speak of being overcome with awe, humility, and even tears when they witness Earth suspended in silence from thousands of miles away. What begins as a technical mission often becomes something deeply spiritual, whether they want it or not. A profound shift from seeing the world in separate parts to experiencing it as one living, breathing whole. That is the oneness. And they return changed. And this happens to many of us that go through a transformational experience or a just something that changes our perspective. Whatever that might be, it changes us. We might become more compassionate, more committed to peace, more devoted to protecting this planet and one another. And if that isn't a spiritual experience, I don't know what is. My point is that sometimes God has to go big to capture our undivided attention. Am I right? Sometimes it takes a rocket ship circling the moon, astronauts poetically narrating from space, and breathtaking images of Earth floating in the vast darkness for us to snap out of our routines and remember the bigger picture. Spirit works in mysterious ways and uses whatever it takes for us humans to pay attention. And in this case, it was awe. It was wonder. It was the mystery of the universe. And it was moon joy. But Spirit, as we know, doesn't only speak to us in the spectacular. Because precisely, the spectacular is spectacular because it's rare. It's not common. It's not every day, right? This is the first time they've been on a mission in, 50, 60 years. So it's not something that happens every day. Most of the time, Spirit whispers, offering us these same type of overview effects in everyday moments, but only if we are willing to find them and notice them, right? That's the work. Because they do come in the quiet, ordinary, and even mundane parts of life. Moments when we rise above the noise of daily life, above the endless headlines, the stressors, the petty arguments, the fear, and suddenly remember who we really are. Spiritual beings having a human experience. Unity teaches us this. These moments can come to us in prayer, in meditation, in silence when we're willing to listen to what's going on within. It might happen with a friend or a loved one. standing at the ocean's edge, watching a sunrise, holding a newborn baby, or sitting beside a hospital bed when someone we love takes their last breath. It might even happen looking up into the sky, knowing that someone is out there. In those sacred moments, our perspectives shift. We remember that life is precious, that love is what matters, that we belong to one another, that beneath all of our labels and differences, there is only one presence, one life, and one divine love moving through each and every one of us. We are all connected. And maybe God's version of the overview effect is not only by taking us out into space, but by calling us back deeper within ourselves. That's where the work is. And when we are willing to do that work, when we are willing to go deeper within, what we often find are not more questions, but answers, our answers. We find truth in that place, our truth. Maybe not the truth we've been taught, most of the time not the truth we've been taught. Most of the time the truth we've been taught are lies. No, we find the truth for ourselves. And more often than not, that truth leads us to one thing and one thing only, and that is love. Just like God, love exists in all of it, in our humanity, in our grief, in our connection. And for me, the most inspiring part of the Artemis mission came in a moment of love. At one point, and I hope all of you heard this story, the 4 astronauts who have worked together for years to make this journey possible, years and years and years, asked ground control if they could name a bright spot, an unnamed crater on the moon, Carol, after Commander Reed Wiseman's late wife, who died of cancer in 2020. In that moment, these brave and brilliant astronauts, floating 250,000 miles from Earth, were overcome with emotion. How could you not be? Ground control was in tears. I was in tears. Millions of us watching from home were in tears, because grief is a language we all speak. Loss is one of the great equalizers of humanity, and perhaps one of the deepest connectors of the soul. It strips away pretense and reminds us instantly of what matters most: love, connection, and the people who shaped us. NASA later posted this clip on Instagram with the words, "No matter how far we travel, the ones we love stay with us." Oh gosh, I'm gonna cry. And I felt that very deeply. And when I watched that story, I immediately thought of my own mom, my best friend, who passed away in 2016. I cannot believe it's been 10 years now. She was always the first person I called when I landed back in Spokane after any of my international travels. There was something sacred about that ritual, that habit that I had, that many of us have when we return somewhere and we call our person, right? She wanted to know that I was safe, and I wanted her to know that I was home safe. And when I watched that story, and then I remembered the first time I traveled after she had died. Yeah, that was a tough one. I had gone to Taiwan for a work trip, and when I landed back in Spokane, I instinctively reached for my phone to call her and let her know I was home safe. And then I remembered she wasn't there. At least not in the way she used to be. She was with me in a new form that I didn't quite recognize yet, that I wasn't used to. Her physical presence was gone, but I knew she was reaching me in other ways. As many of you know, death has been my greatest teacher, and it's one of the spiritual gifts I've received on my soul journey. Mind you, it was a gift that I wanted to return. Did not want it. Was like, thank you very much, God, no. No, thank you. Not into it. But unfortunately, God does not work that way. And what I've learned as a result of death and dying isn't what most of us have been taught. But that's a different talk. I'll talk about that another time. I actually have past talks on that topic. But the point is, I have felt her presence in ways I can't explain logically, but know deeply in my soul. And I know many of you have these experiences too, through signs, through intuition, through dimes that she leaves randomly for me and my family. That's one of her ways of connecting. And through a sense of peace that shows up exactly when I need it most. So when they named that place on the moon Carol, I didn't just see a scientific milestone, obviously, nobody would. I felt something sacred. I felt love, and I felt my mom, reaching across space and time, reminding me that our loved ones are still with us. I hope you felt that too. Because I know I'm not alone. Every single one of us has our own Carol, or our own Sandy, that's my mom's name. Our own bright spot, someone whose love marked us so deeply that even though their physical presence is gone, their spirit still finds a way to reach us. Maybe it's a song that comes at just the right moment, a bird at your window, a scent that is only theirs, a dream, a dime found at the most perfect time, or a feeling of peace that makes no sense but feels completely real. Spirit has a million ways of reaching us. We just have to pay attention. And maybe that's why moments like this mission move us so deeply. Yes, they expand our sense of the universe out there, but they also awaken the universe within us. They remind us that we are part of something vast and mysterious and holy. And in the middle of the vastness, Spirit still finds a way to whisper something directly to us. That you are loved, you are guided, and you are never alone. As I sat with all of this for the preparation today, I found myself returning to one of my favorite books, which is Richard Rohr's The Universal Christ. Are you guys familiar with that? Yeah. Universal Christ? It's a really, really, really great book, which I've shared in past talks, and which continues to shape the way I experience God, Spirit, the universe. In it, Rohr invites us to move beyond the idea of God as distant or separate, off-planet, right? And to instead recognize the divine as a living presence woven through all things, all people and things and animals, everything. One of the lines from the book that I think about almost every day, it really did affect me that way, especially when I need a perspective shift, is this. And I've mentioned this in talks of the past. God comes to us disguised as your life. Think about that for a minute. Does that feel true? Yeah. It feels true to me. I love it because it reminds me that God comes to me disguised as everything I am, experience, the people I meet, the things that seem random, no. The heartbreak, the pain, the joy, the uplift, whatever it is, the grief, it's all God. And God comes to each and every one of us that way. And it's a reminder that we are never alone. Rohr takes the idea even further by stating, God loves things by becoming them. This is not some off-planet God. This is a God that lives within us, right? And next to us and all around us. And that line stopped me in my tracks the first time I read it because it paints such a different picture of God that many of us were raised with, right? Again, it's not some distant, off-planet God observing life from afar and judging, right? But a God who enters into life fully and completely. It is God who becomes flesh through us, becomes matter. God becomes relationships. God is grief. God is in joy. All of it. And if that is true, then our lives are not separate from the sacred. They are the very place where the sacred is expressing and happening. Because the truth is, and as I've said many times before, and I love this, your life is your ministry. And what I mean by that is that each and every one of us has a soul journey that we are on and that we are moving through in this very complicated, sometimes very annoying human experience. Right? Life can be very annoying. Irritating, actually. But that is part of the journey. And that journey itself is your ministry. It's hard to think of it that way sometimes because sometimes we think, God, my life sucks. But that's not true. So your life is your ministry. And this is especially true when the culture or the systems or religions we are born into don't fully allow us to live our truth or express who we really are in an authentic way. And I think all of us have experienced that, where we wanted to be something, but we were told you can't be. You can't do that for whatever reason, right? There's a million different reasons why you can't be who you are if you allow the world outside of you to tell you. But your life is your ministry precisely because it has been challenging, because it has been difficult, because you have been forced to stretch in ways that you didn't want to, frankly. This is where God finds us, in the friction of being human, in the places where life pushes against us and it gets really freaking hard. This is when we need God the most. And when listening to your authentic voice, that voice deep within your own soul, the voice of God, is most powerful. It's when there's resistance. And that's often when we hear it the loudest. And when we are able to access and listen to the Spirit within us, even and especially when no one else in our lives understands, and we begin to live from that authentic truth that has always been whispering to us, but gets louder and louder, something beautiful happens. We are reborn into our true self. It's not an end product, though. It's continuing, right? It's ever-changing, evolution. And unbeknownst to us, when we give ourselves permission to be who we are, we give others permission to do the same. The parts of us and our lives that are no longer needed fall away, and we find what is ours to move toward. We find our people, we find our community, a community of misfits sometimes, who are encouraging us by living their truth. This is one of the ways God comes to us disguised as our life. And one of the ways God loves things by becoming them, by moving through our own lived experience, not away from it. Which brings us to Jesus, whose life was most certainly his ministry. Duh. Jesus did not live an easy or comfortable life. He resisted systems of power, he spoke truth to injustice, and he loved in radically inclusive ways that disrupted the norms of his time, big time. He made a lot of people, especially people in power, very angry. He was, in many ways, a rebel, and his life changed the world. And yet, what is often overlooked is that Jesus was also a student. He was open. He didn't think he knew it all. He was open. He listened. He learned. He followed his inner voice, his connection to God, even when it led him into a difficult path that ultimately led to his death. And still, he trusted that he was being guided by his own soul, his own life, and that God was present. That God came to him disguised as his life, that God was with him through it all. And what a remarkable life it was. He came to show us that when we live in alignment with that same inner guidance, when we listen to the inner universe within us, and when we live in authenticity and love, we are walking the same path of trust and courage that Jesus walked. And this is where Richard Rohr's distinction becomes so important in the universal Christ. He invites us to see Jesus as the historical person and Christ as the universal, eternal presence of God alive in creation from the very beginning of time. In other words, Christ is not limited to one person, one religion, or one moment in history, but is the very blueprint of divine love and connection embedded in everything and everyone. It's that Christ light that we talk about in unity, that was present in Jesus and is present in each and every human that has ever existed, including you and me. I want to close today with another quote from Richard Rohr that I appreciate, and that is, "Your religion is not the church you belong to, but the cosmos you live inside of." What is the story you believe you are living inside of? Is your cosmos one of fear, scarcity, division, and survival? Or is it one of love, abundance, mystery, and the oneness? And sometimes it can be both, right? Some moments can be more difficult than others, but what is it that you live inside of? What is it that you hold higher than your everyday life? That is the question. And in order to get to the cosmos in which you desire to live within the most, ask yourself the question, what do I have to unlearn to get there? Because life really is a matter of unlearning all the things that we think are true to find what is really true within ourselves. And perhaps, as Rohr also states, the spiritual journey is not about finding God, but about awakening to the presence of God that has been here all along. Many of us think that we're, searching for God. No, God is there. So it's hidden in plain. God is hidden in plain sight. It's right there. It's not so easy. I almost said it's so easy. It's not so easy. It's simple, but it's not easy. Finding, listening, connecting to that place. But maybe that is the invitation for all of us today, to awaken, to see more clearly, to love more deeply, to trust the signs, especially when we ask for them. And we ask for, God to be God is the co-creator of our lives. But just be aware of it. Talk to God through that. To trust the signs, to honor the grief we experience, to embrace the wonder, to unlearn what is no longer serving us, and to remember that we are all part of one great unfolding story of love, spirit, and oneness. The universe around us is vast and mysterious, but perhaps the greater mystery is this, that the same divine presence that created the stars and set the moon in motion also lives within each and every one of us. The universe above us and the universe within us are not separate. They are one, and so are all of we. And so it is. So now I want to take us into a time of meditation. Time for us to take a few moments to breathe and intentionally invite Spirit in. Find a comfortable position. Feel free to gently close your eyes or soften your gaze. Allow your shoulders to relax. Let your hands rest easily. And begin to breathe. In many languages, spirit means breath. So let's now allow the breath of Spirit to flow through us. On your next inhale, I want you to breathe to the count of 4 in. Hold at the top. And exhale to the count of 4. Do that again. Breathe in to the count of 4. Hold. And exhale to the count of 4. Allow yourself to relax. Allow your breath to become a simple rhythm. Now I want you to bring your awareness to the center of your chest, the space of the heart. Begin to imagine your breath moving in and out through your heart space. Doing this, you might feel your heart beat. Allow yourself to remember the heart is a powerful place. It's the place of connection. It's the place where your soul plugs in. It's where Spirit speaks to you and through you. This is where truth lives. It's a place of openness where something greater than thought can be experienced. It is also the place that holds the fullness of being human. At times, the heart feels broken. At times, it feels heavy. Sometimes it feels expansive, and other times contracted. It carries our full range of this human experience. So continue to honor this heart space as you breathe in and out through this sacred center of our being. Now I want you to bring to mind a time or a moment in your life when you experienced pure awe or wonder. Allow your heart to take you there. This might be a memory from childhood, your first experience with the divine, a moment in nature or a holy place. Whatever it is, allow that memory of awe to gently rise within your heart now. Remember what it was like to be there, how it felt. Now allow that awe-inspired heart energy to move through your entire body. Into your lungs, your stomach, your shoulders, your arms, your hands, your legs, into the floor, into the earth below you. With each breath, allow awe and the presence of God to fill you up. Now begin to let your heart energy expand outward into this sanctuary, through this spiritual community, expanding even further out into the city of Spokane, the state of Washington, across the country, our world, this planet. Allow this powerful heart energy, this field of coherence, to gently blanket every person, place, and thing on earth, remembering that God inhabits all of it. Let this love, this awe, this connection fill you as we go deeper into the silence. Now, let's gently begin to return your awareness to your body. Notice the support of your chair. Return to your breath. Notice that quiet space within your heart. Carry this sense of awe, this divine connection with you into the week, the month, and the year ahead. A quiet reminder that God comes to us in our very normal, everyday life, in each breath, in each moment. And in that knowing, we can rest because we are never alone. This connection is always here. Spirit is always with us, and love is always present. And when you're ready, you may open your eyes and return to this space.
Yes. So beautiful. Let's just appreciate Amber. I know it's hard to break the sacred spirit, but let's give Amber some appreciation. Thank you. So I felt that same emotion when you brought up the Artemis mission. If anybody did not see any of those videos, go to YouTube and watch and listen to their words and that sense. The crew, they were all one, and they were feeling that oneness with everything that is so beautiful. And I can remember, I was just a child when the people were walking on the moon. Does anybody remember that? Yeah. Wow, that was like 1969 or something. But yeah, the overview effect is a real thing that has been documented, and they have had poetry written about it and a lot of experiences that the people that have seen the Earth from that vantage point have expressed very, very similar things. It's a very spiritual experience. So we're going to move into our time of tithing. And so I invite you just to consider the gifts that you would like to share with this ministry. And thank you for your gifts. Oh, there's a card in the back of the seats that if you want to give your donation electronically, you can use the QR code on that. Thank you, Doug. I invite you all to share in our blessing for the offering together. Divine love in, through, and as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you. All right, so we do accept prayer requests, and also in the back of your seats there's a little form to fill out if you want to ask for a prayer for yourself or someone else, and we pray for those individuals for 30 days, as does Silent Unity. Next slide. Okay, let's share together the Unity Statement for Peace. Unity stands for peace in the presence of conflict, for love in the presence of hatred, for forgiveness in the presence of injury. Unity honors the many names for God, the many paths to God, the many ways to worship God. For there is only one power and presence of God, and that God loves each one of us equally. Unity urges all nations, their leaders, and their people to pursue peace, not war, for this is what honors the God of all our faith traditions. All right, we have some announcements. I know Jeff wants to share some things today.
You want to do that one?
Yeah, okay. So there is a sign up out front for Introduction to Unity class. So this is the first class that is a stepping stone to become a member here, but it's really not about becoming a member. It's just for anyone who's curious to learn more about what Unity teaches and where those teachings came from, etc. Bring your questions, but please sign up in advance. So there's a sign up out front. All right, Kimmy, is she in here? She's back getting ready. So Kimmy is doing energetic healings on the fourth Sunday of every month. There's a little healing room in the back, and she has a sign up on the door. There's a place for 4 people, and the last I looked, there's still some openings back there. So take advantage of that if you'd like to after the service today. Mahjong, is that how you say that? Mahjong.
Yeah. Wednesday, this coming Wednesday from 5:30 to 8:30. And if you're a beginner, never played before, you're welcome. If you're an experienced Mahjong player, you're welcome to be here. It'll be from 5:30 to 8:30. We'll set up tables here. It's a lot of fun. It's like rummy tile. If any of you play like rummy tile, it's kind of like rummy tile. But anyways, it's a lot of fun. And we're going to meet some new friends because there's going to be people from other parts of Spokane that are part of this community that are going to be coming. So it's an opportunity for us to meet some new people. And then this coming Friday is our drum circle. And last month we met in this room. It was amazing, the sound. I don't know, I think we had 10 or 11 people last month. And you don't need to have a drum. If you got a drum, bring it. We have some folks that come with other instruments, so we have that. But it's an amazing time of just getting together. If you've never done a drum circle before, just try it one time. Just try it one time, and then you're going to be hooked. And even we have some of the kids that come, too, that want to be a part of it. And I think that kind of set a path for Lucky in his drumming now. He's got like 2 drums or something and growing. So, yeah, 3 drums. There you go. He's committed. Okay, so this is, everybody, if you don't know, some of you that are new, Bloom's Day is a very special time for me. And this year, because of I wasn't speaking last week and I wasn't speaking this week, I decided that I was not going to participate in Bloom's Day on Sunday, that I will be here. And I'll be giving a special talk about Bloom's Day. We'll experience our own Bloom's Day here in the center on Sunday. But on Saturday, because I want the shirt, we are going to do a virtual Bloom's Day experience on the trail. So I live in Millwood, about a block away from the trailhead there, the Centennial Trail. So we'll meet at the trailhead. We'll walk out as far as we can walk out. If you want to go farther, you can. If you want to go shorter, you can. We'll come back and we'll do a little barbecue at my place and do a little weenie roast or something and just kind of get together and just kind of celebrate. It's a kind of a time to just get to know one another, but it's also an opportunity to experience Bloom's Day is amazing. So, and it's been very meaningful, and I'll share that next week for me and my journey. So we'll be doing that next week. We are meeting at 10 o'clock at the trailhead. I'm sorry, that wasn't on there. So 10 o'clock at the trailhead. There in Millwood, it's at the Marengo and like Far Avenue is where the trailhead is, and then we'll walk out from there, and then we'll walk back, and then I'm a half a block away from the parking lot there, so we can gather. Yeah. Okay. All right, and then I'll let you talk about this.
All right, this one's my baby. Okay, we're going to be hosting a full Alternatives to Violence AVP workshop here, and it's on 2 consecutive Fridays, May 29th and June 5th. I'm excited to have it here. It's really all about conflict resolution and how do we talk to one another in ways that don't offend each other, right? How do we lean into conflict so that we can learn as much as we possibly can without being damaged or without damaging others? So it's a lot of fun. It's totally experiential. It's not a class where you have tests or quizzes. It's really just learning from each other, being present for each other, and just sharing ideas and experiences. That's how we met our friends at CAT, yeah. Said some more of them will be there too. Right.
Okay, so there have been a few little changes around here, and I also, when we had the annual meeting, I shared some ideas, and many of you have asked about those ideas or maybe have questions about what's been going on. So I'm going to offer to have a fireside chat. We don't have a fire, but we'll figure out something. But it's an opportunity for us to get together, and if you've got questions or there's something you want to talk about or you've got an idea or something like that, I'm going to make myself available next Sunday after the service. And so got your question. Those of you online, if you want to participate in that, send me an email to minister@theunitycenter.org, and I can get back to you on that as well. But I believe in transparency and being upfront about things, and so we've had a couple little things going on. If people, rather than have rumors about it, let's have a conversation about it. Let's talk about it. So anyway, so that'll be next Sunday after the service. All right, and then before we do any further, I have a little. Huh? Oh. Okay. Thank you for it. So, a few weeks ago, I did a talk on visitors to ownership, and we talked about like what does it mean to be an owner, and there is a couple in this church that are owners to the point of doing a lot of things in this center, picking up balls when balls are dropped, picking up the trash and sorting through the trash, and working in the office and spending a whole lot of time doing things that normally people would be paid to do in a normal place. But Wendy and Wayne do this unselfishly. Come on up here. Come on. He's coming. Wayne's shy. He doesn't want to be on camera, but that's okay. So I wanted to honor them because Wendy serves as the vice president of the board. She's my go-to for pretty much everything. It's funny. We usually talk 2 or 3 times a week, and as some of you know, I was on a short sabbatical this week by myself, not talking to people. So when I came back into town, I was talking to her Friday, and she says, "Boy, you sure are talking a lot." I said, "I've been gone for 4 days and haven't spoke to anybody, so you're the first one." But anyways, I just want to thank you guys. I love you guys to death. You mean the world to me. You mean the world to the center, what you do for everything. And there's a lot of things. You know, after the wedding, Wayne was going through the trash, pulling out all the plastic, all the aluminum cans out of the bags, making sure, like there's just so much that they do here behind the scenes that folks don't see, and I just want to make sure that you guys are recognized. So I love you. Okay, so now we got our kids, and then we had a lot of kids today.
We are walking in the light, in the light, in the light. We are walking in the light of God. In the light, in the light, in the light, in the light. We are walking in the light of God. We are walking in the light, in the light, in the light. We are walking in the light of love. We are walking in the light, in the light, in the light. We are walking in the light of God.
Awesome. What do you guys have there?
Petunias, and I got morning glory.
Jasper, what do you have?
Dirt.
Dirt. A dirt with a sunflower that's going to grow. Wow, look at the bounty we have. Do you want to say something, sweetie pie?
Yeah.
What do you have?
Flower.
A flower. Thank you, Brandy. All right, let's say the blessing for the kids. Be the love you are. Sing the song you hear. Share your joy of life with people far and near. And now for ourselves, be the love we are. Sing the song we hear. Share our joy of life with people far and near. Thank you so much. Good to see you. All right, we're going to make a circle and sing the peace song.
Testing, testing, testing. Begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. I am the light of God. The love of God protects us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, that is, and all is well. And that's the truth. 1, 2.